to work as a GP. But it was an impossible job. So I telephoned the practice to tell them I'd quit. Since then, things have got better and better. Oh yeah. Just before I came out, I got a message on my phone saying, you are now number 21 in the telephone queue. Yay! I guess that's a taste of my own medicine. Yeah, so you're probably wondering why I gave up being a doctor. I guess it was just seeing patients for 18 years, every 10 minutes. Got too much. Yeah, just too much. I started to go a little bit crazy, and in the end, I completely lost all my patients. Still, I thought maybe, despite my skepticism, I would try something different. So I thought I'd give alternative therapy a go. So I learned Reiki, and there I was, laying on the hands, thinking to myself, I just haven't got the energy for this crap. So I thought maybe being an acupuncturist would be better. Well, I couldn't see the bloody point. And even being a massage therapist, it was far too much pressure. There was no happy ending. Oh no. You'd think, though, that having been a doctor, I'd know all about keeping slim and keeping fit. But as you get older, it gets harder, doesn't it? So I was saying to my friend the other day, it's like, I used to be an athlete. She's like, okay, yeah, and now? And now I am a triathlete. I try so hard. I really try. It's knackering. Anyway, after the menopause, my breasts have blown up like balloons. I suppose the period blood had to go somewhere. I'm not shy though, I am not shy. I was invited on to Naked Attraction. Woo! But I turned them down. I could not stand the hassle of nurses asking for selfies every time I went for a smear. But, true story, I did actually get on to first dates. Yeah. It must have been Middle-Aged Lesbian Week, but I got on. And it was the hotel version in Italy. Woo! 5-star accommodation. Free booze, free food, free spa. But the date was a disaster. We had nothing in common, and we clashed. So I'm there thinking, I've got to leave, got to get out of here. I just cannot take anymore. And then I had a weak moment and thought, well, maybe I can take just one more bottle of champagne. It's Dom Perignon after all, so I snuck that one away. But dating is not easy. And you may or may not have heard, lesbian dating is very intense. Have you heard about the one where the lesbian brings the removal van on the second date? Well, it's true. But since I've had therapy, I am now very relaxed about dating. So chill. So I go on the apps and I meet up with this Australian woman. Perfect first date, absolutely perfect. After that, she goes back to Australia. I don't hear from her. But a week later, I move on. I move on to the aeroplane and I fly out and I ask her why she's got commitment issues. Disgusting. I guess I was quite desperate to go down under after all. Oh well. I was in a civil partnership, but unfortunately things didn't work out. If you're in a marriage, you get divorced. In a civil partnership, we had to get dissolved. So we were like two soluble paracetamol. Takes the pain away at first, but we had to co-parent, so the headache returned. So we went to a clinic and we used a sperm donor, and it was at the beginning of a time when you could trace down the donor afterwards. So our eldest turned 18 recently, and he reached out. And the donor decided it would be easier to get all the donor kids together one time. So he threw a children's party at the O2 Arena. So the morning after, I said to my son, so, yeah, how was it? He's like, oh, it's all right. Yeah, good, nice one. We played spin the sperm tail on the ovary. We played musical test tubes and passed the responsibility. I was like, okay, right, so, but what was he like, you know, donor daddy? He's like, oh yeah, he was a nice enough guy, but at the end he asked us all to chip in. He stood up and gave this little speech and said, as you can all see, I have donated more than enough and put down a rather large deposit. Oh, okay, I said, yeah, and? He says, well, I didn't really understand it. Don't worry, son. It was obviously always a wanker. Thank you, everyone, and good night.